fuck is you? Let's see. Let's move all this stuff. Gang, 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 gang. Let's try this. Hello, pop, pop, pop one, pop two. Let's try this. MC. So if I were to move my microphone a little bit closer, and then the MC, one, two, check, check. Move this down, move this down. Do check, check, check. Move this. Okay. Hey, Tom. Can you hear me? Let's see. I just want to say, hey, hello. Can you hear me? Hi, David. Can y'all hear me? Y for yes, N for no. Oh, well. Huh. So, looks like we're going to loud and clear. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. I have this little blur in my screen. I think it's coming from this light right here. So I'm just going to angle it away. I don't think it's going to do much. I don't want to make myself so dark. Let's see. Maybe I'll move my. No, I'm not going to mess with my camera because my camera sometimes makes a mess. So thank you, David. Maybe that'll work. Yeah. Just gonna wait for some people to pop in. I am going to do some. So, thank you. So today usually would be the day that me and Eggy Salad go live. Eggy Salad was not feeling like socializing today with the Substack world. And I understand that, she has times where she needs to be by herself to do the things that she wants to do. And today is one of those days. So Eggy Salad is off doing the things that she wants to do. And I am just going to get on here and ramble. Ramble, ramble. She should be back soon. She is not going to get on. I know that. Let me just check her ETA because she did send me that. ETA no longer available. Well, that is wonderful. Um, yeah. So she's either on the side of the road somewhere or she is at the grocery store. Grocery? I know we go to Trader Joe's a lot. So that's where she's going to be. If she goes to the grocery, that's where we get our flowers because I use flowers a lot. I have flowers on my altar, and they need to be replaced because they're old and dying right now. So I have flowers on my altar, and I take flowers for sacrifice when I go to the river. So I need a lot of flowers, basically. So at all times, I have, probably 2 dozen flowers on me, at least. Yeah. So yes, yes. So, the whole thing for today is for that that Eggy Salad and myself were going to discuss was escape routes. Being that I am trans and black, should be first black and then trans, because that's what people see. First of all, is my black. And then they'll see my trans very shortly after, which is fine. Um, oh, I did not know that. Oh, yeah, Andrew Tate is a dickhead. I don't know how they even let him on this platform, but yeah, um, yeah, I didn't know that. We had this scheduled for 2 weeks in advance. I don't know, maybe I'll get off shortly I appreciate you telling me that. I don't plan on shutting down just yet, but I may. Um, I may get off Substack. The thing is, there are quite a few people still on Substack. Like, and when I say quite a few, I mean I've got like 100 notifications. Hey, misuse. Um, well, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Um, uh, Andrew Tate, I mean, I avoid this person with every chance I get. So I don't really know too much about him, to be completely honest. I know that he's probably a rapist and a misogynistic piece of shit, an incel. Um, but beyond that, I don't know anything else about him. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Misuse. What's up? Um, yeah, beyond that, I don't know too much about him. I know he was jailed with his brother in some other country, and they held him for a long time, and then finally let them go. Um, but that's really all I know about him. I try to make it my business not to know his business, and that makes me happy. So when people do bring him up, I'm like blissfully ignorant. Um, you know, no. Thank you, David. Yeah, you know what? I agree 100%. I agree 100%. My information is more important than his. Because, yeah, I mean, that is one of the purposes of me being so visible, is to show the younger generations and even people my age that are still in the closet or haven't had their egg break yet, that, excuse me, that there is a way forward, that you can do this. It's hard. I'm not going to lie, it's hard, and especially in the beginning. But you learn to say fuck it to people, and you learn to do you to the best of your ability and to the best of your safety. And I also understand that if you're not safe, you should not come out. There's no one saying you need to come out now. Everyone is saying that be safe first and foremost. This is going to be a horrible 4 years if it lasts that long. So it's gonna be a horrible time, and we're gonna have to stick together, try and make little pods of friendships that we can check in on each other, make sure that we have phone numbers, so on and so forth. Um, yeah, building community is big, especially online and in person. Like, I don't have a big in real life community. I mean, I have my chosen family, and that's it, which is fine. I like that. But online, I have a large community, um, and being online and having a community is good because I get phone numbers. I have chats that I chat with people. And it makes me feel good that I can connect with people that way, because it helps my social anxiety. And my like sometimes my issue with saying things that I probably shouldn't say out loud. It's my yeah, my stuff. So anyway, and that's one of the reasons I avoid crowds now is because it's just a little overwhelming. Um, yeah. So and that being said, that's why me being online is so much better for me. And that's because the whole social anxiety, the whole energy thing, it's just too overwhelming sometimes. Um, so, but yeah, in terms of keeping trans people safe and keeping trans people visible, keeping people visible. When I do go out, I am visibly trans. There is not a way that you can see me and say this person is not trans, and I am okay with that 100%, 100%. Hi, BJ. Thank you. Let's see. Even though I'm in the southern hemisphere, I feel you in my soul. Okay, VJ, what part of the southern hemisphere are you in? If you don't mind me asking, and if you don't want to say, that's fine. Um, you know, don't you don't need to tell me if you don't want to. Online community is expanding. Yes, misuse. Yes, and that's good. I feel like especially in this day and age, it's harder to, and especially at my age, it's harder to meet people, make friends, who are of my age and not like 20 years younger, because that's how I feel. So I would be making friends with like 25, 30-year olds. And that's just, while that was when I worked, my last job, that was pretty much all I worked with were 30-year olds, 25-year olds. Like the oldest person I worked with was 36. So that put me like 2 decades older than these people. But that being said, the company I worked for, and I am not joking when I say this, there were three cis hetero people there. Everybody else was queer as fuck, just queer in some way, shape, or form. A couple trans men, a couple trans women, a lot of non-binary people, a lot of genderqueer people, a lot of ace people, every spectrum you could think about, there was representation. So that was the cool thing. It's just like everybody was young, and so they would invite me to hang out, and I'd be like, man, too young. Um, Let's see. Johannesburg, South Africa. Okay. Yay. Um, that is great. I do wish I could visit South Africa and Africa in general. I would be a little nervous, not gonna lie. Um, I've heard some horror stories. I have a friend in Nigeria, and a friend in Joburg, um, who is trans, and she seems to be doing okay. Um, but she is also of a white skinned color. So I don't know if that's a different type of thing. So, but My friend in Nigeria, I have several friends in Nigeria, and one of them is trying to get me to go to Osun State. And I'm just like, I just don't think I would be safe. And then he's like, we have many transgender people. And I'm like, you have like three or four, and they're all stars. There are no trans people in your normal day-to-day life, and if there are, they're in camps, or they're ostracized from like the main of society. um you know um Interesting. Please make sure people know how to wrap their phones in aluminum foil to create a Faraday bag effect, to avoid being tracked. Let's see if they suspect that they're being pursued by ICE or any other government goons. Okay, interesting. Um, yeah, VJ. So, yeah, yes, Nigeria and South Africa are going to be two different stories. It's not, I know that there are many countries and many different languages in Africa itself, and and so let me ask you this really quickly. What is it still like a lot of split between black people and white people? Um, is it still something that is split? Um, because and the reason why I say that is because I've got a white partner, and we always have to consider things like this whenever we go somewhere. Is it going to be safe for a black trans person and a queer white person uh, to be together? Um, it's still segregated. Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, Yeah. I mean, that is, unfortunately, that is how I feel that it is. Now, I'm not 100 on that because I have never been, but I do have one friend in South Africa, I mean, in Joburg, and um, she is white, and I don't think that she's affluent. She makes a good bit of money, um, but from everything that I'm gathering, it is kind of like that. I'm not sure. I, well, misuse. It seems like I would think it is. Like I'm not 100 on that, but I just like something tells me it is. I don't know. Hey, lose. Yeah, loose. Autocorrect sucks. So, VJ, like, if you want to tell me more about South Africa, let me know. Whether it's segregated or people are mixing, or and just going about such. Uh, Reminder: I have a parcel. Yay! I have a parcel. It's my medication. So, yeah. Um, but in terms of going places where Egg and I can be safe, the first place I thought of around the area is Costa Rica. Costa Rica. And the reason why I think that is because the creator of the trans flag that way, and not the lesbian flag there, but the trans flag right there, she lived in the same city as I did, and so she left and went to Costa Rica. Uh, let's see what's going on. Autocorrect stuff. Yes, there's thing in the LGBTQ community, but it's more clicks. South Africa is very integrated. Okay, so you don't worry. It's not easy to be a person of color and in the queer community, but it's not unsafe. That scares me. So, and I'll tell you why that scares me because well, you know what? Hey Joe, hey Lisa. It may not scare me as much as I think it will. Because if I start comparing things to Atlanta, it may not be that bad. Atlanta is known to be a bad city for crime and all that crazy shit, but like as long as as long as you know what's going down, as long as you got some street smarts, you're good. So A Town down, by the way. Um, I love Atlanta, and Atlanta's perfect too because it's got a lot of black people, it's got a lot of white people, it's got a lot of Hispanic people, it's got a lot of Asian people. It's just got a lot of everybody, and we're all mixing. There are people who do keep to themselves, not gonna lie, but like in the Metro Atlanta area, and the A itself. Um, there's a lot of mixing going on. There's a whole lot of mixing going on. Yeah. Hey, Kimmy win! Yay! Um, let's see what Dave is saying. I know 100 trans folks. About 20 of them call me Papa. Yay! I visit them, go shopping with them. Awesome. Give them some money when they're in a fix. So cool. One of my daughters is in college as a music student. Great. We attend her concerts. Even better. My life has been positively affected by chosen children. Very good. more cis folks would be able to know trans folks. This damn, David, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's amazing. Thank you, thank you. You've made my day. Like, so, just a couple of days, maybe a week ago, a week and a half ago, there's this guy named Chris Resists, and he wrote this beautiful thing about his trans daughter. And at first, it was kind of like, I'm mad at my trans daughter because she didn't tell me that she was trans. You know, she didn't come out to me, and I already knew. So, like, I wanted her to come out to me. And his wife said, "Listen, you're missing the assignment here. She will come out to you when she is comfortable. Just because does not give you the right to ruin it for her. And I thought that was pretty powerful. That is the most powerful thing, to let your children do what they need to do to feel safe, and then to provide a safe environment so that they feel safe coming out and telling you. That's even better. That's great. So the end result is that I left a message, I left a comment because I was so touched, and I had a shitty day, like a big old racist transphobic day, which is like nothing new on Substack. Um, but you know and it just changed my day. It made me so happy. So, David, thank you, because you just made me super happy. I was not having a bad day, but I wasn't having a great day. Your comment just made me have a great day, so I appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you what you do for the community. If no one keeps on thanking you, I will keep on thanking you, probably throughout the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Hi, Kimmy. Same with Ann Arbor. It's very California vibe. Okay, it's got a lot of Asian queer folk, trans, gay, binary, non-binary. Um, it's just a melting pot, and it's very hippie, laid back. Yeah. So I went to college at Charleston, and I like before, and this was in the '90s. So in the '90s, College of Charleston, the crew I hung out with all were all like little hippie kids. And we were hippie dance kids. So I know that sounds a little strange, but and we went to clubs. Back then and I guess it's still the same, because I heard someone get an interview a couple of days ago and she said it. So, but back then the code was plur. Peace, love, unity, and respect. And it didn't matter what color you were. It didn't matter anything. You were a misfit. You belonged. If you didn't fit in with regular society, you came and you danced and had a great time. You belonged. This was your family, and you treat family like you treat family. Yeah. So have to go. Okay, David. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week, and a wonderful life. Keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you. Um, Hey, Chris, resist. I was just talking about you. I don't know if your ears are burning or if your nose is twitching, or anything like that. I was just talking about you to David, because David is awesome and you are awesome. And so I was just relaying your story to David, because David is pretty fucking awesome too. And I was telling him that you made my entire day, because I had a shitty day, and David's comment. If you scroll up a bit, you can see it. Oh, you may not be able to see it. I don't know. But David's comment was something to the effect that he takes care of trans kids and trans people, and so on and so forth. Which was really inspiring. It takes a special person to do that, especially for people who are downtrodden, outcasts, so on and so forth. Um, uh, Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I Yeah. Oh, yeah, you don't see the prior comments? Okay, so, yeah, I was relaying your story and my comment to your story and, how it made me feel so good that there was a father who was taking care of their trans child and allowing them to do what they needed to do to feel comfortable to come out, and that in itself is amazing because I didn't have that opportunity. I was outed by a family therapist to egg. And then when I told my parents, we didn't talk again for 2 years. I lost all my friends except for my bestie. It's the classic trans story. Or I shouldn't say it's the classic trans story, but it is one of them um, where a trans person decides to transition because it's either death or transition. They decide to transition regardless of whether they'll lose everything. Trans person loses just about everything, which is I lost everything except for my bestie and Egg. But honestly, Egg was almost out of there. It took her 3 years, not 3 months, not 3 days, not 3 weeks, 3 years to come around. And she did come around. And when she first came around, she was like, "I can't be with someone who's a lesbian. I cannot. Um, I can't. I can't call myself a lesbian. I'm not a lesbian." But like now, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gay as fuck." So, and we just had this discussion a couple days ago. She was like, "So what should we call each other?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And it said your egg, and I was like, what do you mean?" And she was like, "Can I call you my partner?" I was like, "Okay, sure." And she's like, "Yeah, let's do that." And so, she was like, I don't want to call you my wife." And I was like, "Well, that makes sense, because, let's see, oh, thank you, Ms. No, no, no. So I'm good. The whole idea between me and Egg is that we're trying to be more equitable. That's why when we got married, it was never a question of the only question when we got married concerning names was whether we were going to scrap both names and make up a whole brand new name, which we probably should have done, or just hyphenate our names. Because I was going to take her name and she was going to take my name, but I felt no, I felt some kind of way about like her taking my name. That was some kind of bullshit. It's not like I have 6 cows and 2 pens. I'm not going to buy her. So I was like, I'm going to take your name and you can take my name. We'll just be our last name. Now, the problem with that is I think we're the only ones in the country with that last name. So so that makes us easily identifiable, which sucks. Now that I think about it. Yes, hyphenated. Yeah, hyphenated. Um, yep, we are a hyphenated group, me and Egg. Um, 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 yeah, so, we are, yeah. Me and I won't say her name because, like I said, it is like, once you hear it, I don't think you're gonna find another one in this country. You may find one in other countries, but you're not gonna find one in this country. Not that kinda hyphenated. No, 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 no. Like hyphenated so we hyphenated last names. Yeah, so I took her last name and she took my last. It would be funny though if I took her first name and she took my first name, and for her last name and I took her first name for my last name, that would be pretty funny. Um, that would be kinda cool. Or and you know how I know this is because, um, what's the dude from Twilight? Jacob the werewolf? He married someone who had the same name as him. uh, and she became, or close to the same name, she became the same name of him, and it's kind of crazy now. I don't know his name. I don't remember the story. But yeah. We'll say it's equity because you were sharing each other's name. Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, and that's why we did it, because neither of us were going to be like, neither of us at that point, like we were both like, this it's not going to be traditional. We were not a traditional couple. It was not going to be a traditional wedding. It was not going to be a traditional her taking my name. I mean, that was never a discussion. As a matter of fact, when I moved in with her, when we moved in together, um, we moved in 2 years before we got married together, and at that point, I we hyphenated our names. So, you know, and even though it wasn't legal at that point, we went ahead and did it. Um, you know, Thank you. Thank you, VJ. Yeah. So Egg is on the asexual spectrum. She is demi, and that is on the ace spectrum, the ace spec. Um, I'm demi too, so I'm on the ace spec too. As a matter of fact, I've got a ace flag right here, a demi flag right here. Um, you know, but what I say is I'm pan, because any gender doesn't matter, any person, it doesn't matter. But I'm not going to just hop in bed with anybody. I need to really get to know this person. I need to have a connection. So yeah. And egg is the same way. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Uh, but thank you, VJ. I appreciate it. Let's see. I have a friend that did that, got married to a dude with the same last name, but not related. Then I have another friend who married a guy with the same last name as her first name. So her name is Terry. Now, okay, so I think that's the same thing as the werewolf guy, um, and his wife. I think it's the same thing. Misuse. Um, but yeah, so now I have some questions. So now this is the part where I start to talk about um, where we can go if we need to flee. There's like no one's saying we are going to run, um, but there is a possibility that we may have to. I don't want to do that. I don't want to leave everything we have. We have memories, and people who have to leave their places pretty quickly have memories. It's devastating. I understand that. I have never had to do it, so I can't fully comprehend. um, I can only sympathize, maybe empathize. um, it's got to be rough. So one of the first places I looked at is Costa Rica. Costa Rica. Let's see. Dana Dubois has an interesting article on demisexual. She puts out there that demisexual isn't really its own community, but more just a behavior. So yeah, Chris, I read that. I disagree 100% with her, but yeah, I don't know how deep she is into the community. That I would suggest that. Oh, hold on now. Oh no. Hold on, let me come back. I would suggest, there we go, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I would suggest that, I don't know how deep into the community she is, if she's gay, queer, any type of stripe. Um, and I should not invalidate her opinions. That is wrong of me, so I will take that back. She does have opinions, and she's more than welcome to have opinions. My opinion is that yes, it is part of the ACE uh, of the ACE spectrum. Um, it's been known by the It's called AVEN, the board for asexuality, the National Asexuality Board, has even recognized demisexuality for years, as part of the ace spectrum. Um, I don't know, like that was a snap judgment. I read some of that. I listened. I don't know what I did. I saw it and I looked at it briefly, and I was like, nah, like nah. That's a hot take, and unfortunately, I think it's wrong. But like I said, people have opinions, and that's fine. That is why we're all here to express our opinions. Um, so, there we go. That's what I saw. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw, Chris. The live. Um, yeah, I saw the live, and once I heard what she was talking about in terms of how she was saying it, I I uh, I decided to jump off of it really quickly because it was making my blood boil. And that's because I just don't know her stance, like, on the queer community. If she's in the queer community, that's cool. If she's not in the queer community, then I'm just like, okay, that's a weird take, but you do you. Um, yeah. Oh, Kimmy, you can't agree with it, or you do agree with it? Okay, so you still love Dana. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, awesome, VJ. I appreciate it. I will remember this. Don't be surprised if, like, you get a tag on the back channel. I'm very good at that. I'll remember this though. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, Kimmy. I was just, I was just like, you know, but I understand that she's really big on Substack and she's got a following. Um, but I don't know. That was kind of weird to me, when I heard it. But yeah, so let's see. She positioned herself as being demisexual because the term fits her, but she doesn't feel that her being demisexual should take up space in the community. She doesn't feel that is a stripe that would tie her to it. She is still very much an ally. Okay, so okay, so I have to agree, Chris, that she can, in any way possible, identify herself in any way possible. That's not the knock. The knock is to say, or I mean, as long as she's saying for her and for herself only. Now, if she's trying to speak for a whole community, that's where I begin to have the problem. You see, like if she's just, yeah, if she's talking about herself, that's great. Once she begins to talk about the whole asexual community and the whole demisexual community, that's where I begin to have the problem because there are so many demisexuals who would be like, nah, this does not fly. You can identify how you want, but just don't say that we're not a real community. You know. Um, Now, I'm glad that she's a big ally. That is, we need as many allies as possible. Um, I did not hear the whole story, so I'm going to hold judgment right now and just go back to saying, what she said, what I saw from what Chris wrote is that that she can identify how she wants, and that's great. And I should not push on that. So let's see. Agree to disagree. That's totally fine too. Okay. Inclusivity is so important. Your fiance and I've agreed we need different rooms in different places. So Joe, that's kind of funny. Me and Egg, so me and Egg were talking about like we need different rooms, bitch, because like I snore and I like weighted blankets, and she likes light, airy blankets that are cool. Um, so on our California King, she has one half that has a cool blanket, and I have the other half that has a weighted blanket. So yeah, it's kind of strange. So we have always often talked about when we strike it rich, win the lottery, we are going to maybe get a house with like 5 rooms, and so we can have 2 rooms each, and then there can be like a guest bedroom or some shit like that. um okay, Chris, so you don't think she was doing that? Okay, I appreciate you saying that. My bad, my total bad. Yeah, if it's her opinion, yeah, like I said, yeah, 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 yeah. She didn't want to take up space for those who need the space. Okay, well that is great then. As an ally, that's great. To recognize that she shouldn't be taking up that space. I just I when I heard the way I heard it, I was just a little bit suspicious. Maybe I should have listened to the whole thing. Maybe I would have had a different opinion. Yeah. Oh, it's not that I won't give her a chance. No, I actually like her too, from what I've read. She is a big name on Substack, so I read her stuff and hear her stuff. She does a lot of lives. I have no problem with her. I don't, to be completely honest, I don't know her. like I am not Substack famous, so okay, VJ, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on for a little bit. Come back when I come live again. You'll see me pop on. Um, but yeah, Chris, I don't know her. I wish I did. I feel like I'm a small fish in the Substack world. And she's a whale. What's like the biggest fish? I don't know, like the black whale, blue whale, or something like that. Thanks, Kimmy. I'm famous. Yay. Um, but yeah, so like, no disrespect to Dana at all. I don't know her. And I'm not trying to be mean to her at all. Um, so if you do see her, thank you, Chris. If you see her and this gets back to her, just tell her I no disrespect, you know, no disrespect at all. But yeah, so looking at countries or cities in the United States, of course, there's Colorado. So Colorado right now is the place of the moment. Colorado. Anywhere in Colorado, well, Denver. I have a friend who lives in Denver, and she says it's amazing. It's really queer. The whole state of Colorado is a safe place for the most part. Um, it's the weather has been slacking off, which I like to hear. She did say that there was only like 13 inches of snow up until a little part, and then it got to be a little bit more. Um, and so, I don't know about the snow because I've not lived in a place where it snows like that. Um, Egg is from Colorado. Okay, Kimmy, when careful in rural Colorado. Yeah. So that's yes, Chris. That's what that's what makes me nervous going anywhere in the United States. And that's why in Atlanta, I stay in the metro. I don't go out of the metro because going out of the metro, you encounter Georgia. There's Atlanta, and then there's Georgia. You could take Atlanta out of Georgia, and you know Atlanta would be its own city or like its own state, and we would fucking be all blue. Now, the rest of Georgia would be all red, and that's the problem. So, yeah, yeah. Georgia, gotta love Georgia, but Atlanta, it's on down. You know, I do love Atlanta. I wish and the idea is to stay. The idea is not to leave. You were in Vancouver, Canada, and there was a great queer community. That is what I hear, Joe. Yeah, that Vancouver, Canada has a great queer community. Yes. Um, you know, the Pacific Northwest in general is supposed to be great for queer people. Um, you know, yeah, so that's great. I don't know how far west I would like to move in terms of the United States. Um, Honestly, I think Colorado might be the farthest. I don't know. I've never been to California, but I don't feel like I'm a California person. Um, and that may just, I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just a feeling. That's it. Follow the Supreme Court decisions first. Religious not challenged on the ban of conversion therapy. Yeah. So wait, for what do you mean for Colorado? From what I understand, for Colorado's, it didn't make it on the ballot. They tried, but it didn't make it on the ballot. LA feels hostile at this time. Yeah, like LA makes me nervous anyway, but right now it seems cray, like really crazy. Um, I just yeah, Atlanta's fine. Atlanta's a war zone anyway. But California, LA, nah. LA is its own craziness. Um, Too much shit going on in LA. And like I said, what so if Kimmy, if you're talking about the thing in Colorado, there it is. Hold on. There we go. If you're talking about the thing in Colorado where like some group tried to get it on the school bans, like conversion therapy through schools, that the Colorado Supreme Court knocked that down. Or well, no, not the Colorado Supreme Court. It just didn't have enough ballots to get on them. I don't know what happened. Let me look it up. Hold on. It'll be easier just for me to look it up instead of trying to say exactly what happened. Let's see. Uh, okay, Colorado. Yeah, it didn't make it. Colorado. Let's see. Conversion therapy ban. Yes, that's what it is. Conversion therapy ban. Supreme Court. Yeah, on the 34th. Yeah, on March 31st. Oh no, that's right. I remember this now. The Colorado, yes. So this is, yeah. I don't think that's been overturned. No, I don't think. Yeah, yeah. No, not. Don't be relieved yet. I don't think that's been overturned. I I am not sure what this. That's the one that's pretty much set the precedent for conversion therapy throughout the rest of the United States. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Like that's going to be a big old problem. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed. There's going to be a lot of kids who are just going to be like, yeah, whatever. Get out and do the same thing. Yeah, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. And the fact that two liberal judges or justices ruled on the side with the conservatives only because they said it goes against it was something about personal belief and not necessarily the law or the Constitution. So Justice Sotomayor and the other one, who I don't remember the name of, same person. Um, Sorry, you're unable to access that. Why? Why can't I get in? Y'all are just being mean to me now. Um, oh, they're really blocking me. Holy shit. Okay, never mind. I'm back. They are blocking me. Um, yeah, they're blocking me. I know why though. It's because I've got a lot of shit running that kind of hides my stuff online. Um, but yeah, so yeah, Colorado sounds safe in the United States, with the exception of Chris said, the red areas, the rural areas, and that's how it's going to be pretty much everywhere. Of course, the Northeast is good. Although like Vermont has turned to shit. Someone said Rhode Island and Delaware. I don't know about Delaware. I'm not sure about Rhode Island either. I've never been to either of those. I've known one girl from Delaware, and she was really cool. I don't know anybody from Rhode Island. Maybe no, I don't know anybody from Rhode Island. And then on up the coast. I don't want to live in Maine because let's be honest, how many black people live in Maine? And like Maine is way too far in the water or wherever it is. I can't deal with that snow, anything. So Minnesota and Minneapolis was our place to go. That's where we were going to go, if anything went down. And then ice went down, and we're like, well, we can't really go to Minneapolis now. Um, um, we're like, as far as the United States, hmm, Philly, maybe Philly. Yeah, Philly. Philly is good. Philly is always good. There's the weather in Philly, and neither of us are snow people anymore. Although Egg is more of a snow person than I am. So that leaves out of the country places. Out of the country places, Costa Rica, um, in San Jose, there are a lot of American people. There are a lot of queer people. Um, there are uh, the cost of living is wonderful. There is a pathway to citizenship and naturalization, to citizenship. Um, and the good thing is that it stays between like mid 70s to low 80s year round. The bad thing is they have a rainy season that lasts like 6 months, and they say it rains every day. So, but they say that it's humid, and that's okay. Like, we're used to humidity in the A. So, let's see, Minneapolis Community won, though. They fought back against ICE. I think if you went there, you would be protected by the community. Oh, sure. Oh, sure. It's not that I wouldn't be protected by the community. It's more along the lines of, before everything went down, that was the place we were going. If shit were to go down, like if shit were to go down, we were going to go to Minneapolis. Then shit went down, just not in the A. It went down in Minneapolis. So, um, that's why we were like, well, maybe we should not move to Minneapolis just yet. It's, of course, it will all. So Egg is from that area, so it will always be a place that we will think about moving to. Um, we'll always give it a thought. I don't know if we'll ever do it. We've been up there once within the last 3, 4 years, and had a great time. Um, I got to go see, and well, it wasn't just me. Me and Ed got to go see the Prince Museum, Paisley Park, and that was wonderful. I cried, because Prince is awesome. Um, let's see. So yeah. No, so Kimmy, no, we're not trying to move. We're trying to stay, actually. We're trying to stay. We don't want to move at all. We don't. I mean, okay. So what I'm saying is, we don't want to move from Atlanta. We want to stay in Atlanta because my chosen family is here, and my chosen family includes kids. And so, I don't want to separate from them. They have known me and Egg since they were born. So we are their aunts, you know. So God, that would be horrible to have to break up this family. I like it's to the point where we're already all thinking about not think. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, we're back. Thank you, Kimmy. Yeah, Atlanta is awesome. But like, it's already got to the point where me and Bestie and Egg and Bestie's kids, if they need to, are all thinking about moving in together in about, well, once Bestie's kids graduate school, then we are all moving in together. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's when, you know. Um, so, and okay, there is an if. The if is if we have to flee and leave the country, um, because I don't think they would come with us. So, if we have to flee, then I wouldn't expect them to come with us. It wouldn't be fair to them. So, um, yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. So Colorado, because I know someone in Colorado, Minneapolis and Mississippi, Minneapolis and Minnesota, because we have family in Minnesota. Um, you know, um, Idaho would be great. Just joking. Psych. No Idaho. Fuck Idaho. Um, Fuck Kansas. Fuck Florida. Fuck Texas. And any other state. Ohio. Um, Indiana. Fucking hell. On a good news tip, all the anti-trans, anti-queer bills in Nebraska failed. All the anti-trans bills and anti-queer bills in Kentucky failed. And you live in Arkansas, Kimmy, the land of the KKK. How are the KK doing? The Ku Klux Cluckers, the home of the Ku Klux Klan. Yes, so I actually have relatives in Arkansas. I cannot remember where. Um, let's see. Like it's on Arkansas. Let's see. Mm, I can't remember the name of the place they're in. Martine's Notes app. How are you doing? Um, So yeah, yes, I would love to keep Portland weird. My only thing about Portland being so weird is that it's so weird that they don't have any black people. Isn't that really weird? Like, where are all the black people? Oh, they're all in the A. That's unfortunately how it is. Yeah, the black people are in the South. Um, and that's not, and so, Chris, when I say that, please understand that I don't mean I need to be around black people all the time. I do. I feel more comfortable. But when it comes to safety, I will put my safety over the type of people I'm around. Now, one would argue very heavily that being around black people makes me safer than being around all white people, you know. Um, and I've read articles to that effect from like way back in the day where like black kids were partying like in outdoor parties and like they're dead the next day. Just shit like that. Yeah. Representation is important. You're 100% right. It's kind of funny. Like Egg went to Portland several years ago on a work trip. Um, And she said, it was cool because she said she went to Powell's, and we're big bookstore fans, and so going to Powell's for her was awesome, and of course it would be for me too. Um, and she was like, yeah, yeah, Portland was pretty cool, I love it, but there are no black people. And Egg was like, this is Egg saying it, she was like, I just don't know how I would feel. This is Egg saying this. Egg is white, like bright white, but she's like, yeah, I don't know, like I couldn't, you know. Egg has been changed. Like dating me has changed Egg. She's had to work on internalized racism and being extremely anti-racist and making room for black people. These are things that she did not know she had to do. She did not know that it was something that needed to be done. She didn't know that it was something that was internalized. So, dating, then marrying me, has kind of opened her eyes, and that's great. It's great. I remember when my parents were like, so because this was when we started dating. Of course, there were interracial couples, but there were not a lot in the area we were in. Um, and so my mom sat me down and had the conversation. So black kids get several conversations depending on age. The first one is you don't do what they do, meaning you don't do what the white kids do. Because 9 times out of 10, a white kid does this, they'll be fine. 10 times out of 10, you do that, you're gonna get in trouble, you know. So don't go fucking speeding down streets in the subdivision because if they see you being black, you're gonna get it. That's one of the conversations that your parents have. With every black boy, and the conversations with every black girl. Yeah. So I've had several conversations. That one I remember vividly. The other one I remember vividly is when me and Egg got together. My mom sat me down. She was like, "Listen, interracial couples are going to be hard. You just don't know how hard it is. People are going to stare. People are going to say nasty things. Blah 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 blah." And it was true. All of it was true. People stared. People threw stuff at us. People said nasty shit to us. And, it was kind of bad. In the beginning. In the beginning, yeah. It was pretty bad. Like it was so bad that the first night we moved in together, my car was broken into and my stereo was stolen. I don't know if it was because like we were an interracial couple. I don't know if that was it, or if it was just like my car was an easy mark, a new car in the area. Um, but yeah, so um, uh, shout out to 404. Shit. But yeah, so now me and Egg are thinking about like, I'm thinking about places to go. Like I would love to live. First of all, yeah, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Did you catch hate from just white people or did you yeah, oh, from both sides. Yeah, both sides. 100% both sides. Yeah. 100% both sides. Now, so black people are and I'm not going to say that. I almost said something that I don't believe. Um, White people are worse. Black people are more insistent. So within a sector of black people, um, there are black people who look at, especially black men who date white women, as kind of traitors of the race. Um, so, I'm not a black man, but I am black. So, and back then I did look like a black man. So, um, but so a certain sector of the black population does indeed hold a negative view. Um, A judgment thing? Yeah, it is it's a judgment thing. It's a betrayal of the race thing. It is a what it is that especially certain black women think that black men will date anybody else before dating black women, especially dark black women. And there's that is not a fallacy. That is not false. That is true. There are a lot of black men who do not date black women and who do not date dark black women. Um, I was like a motherfucking United Colors of Benetton. I was dating anybody and well, anybody and everybody. I dated everybody of like any type of nationality, any type of ethnicity, you know, everybody. Um, what always happened to me was that the parents never liked me. So like, one the girlfriend before I married Egg, she's Jamaican, and we're still in touch. Um, Her mother liked me, um, but like I've had girlfriends from Iran, and my girlfriend from Iran, her mother hated me, and her father hated me, and then they finally said, "Listen, we're either going to disown you, or you can drop that motherfucker." So she was like upset, of course, but I knew she was going to have to do it, so I understood, and I gave her the space to do it. Um, so it's Chris, to your point, it's not just a judgment from just black people. It is a, it is a, it is an ingrained thing. It is not merely like a passing or fleeting judgment. It is something that has been happening for generations of black men dating white women and black women of certain parts, not all black women. So I don't want to generalize. I want to be specific. Some black women, is that generalization? No. A certain sector of black women do, do think this. And, there are a lot of white people who just like are spiteful. There are a lot of white people who hold on to old white people ideas. They don't say them as much as they do, but they say them now. Yeah. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. Yes. So, just but from my point of view, Egg and I had to endure a lot of shit, a lot of shit that people just don't that people don't think about, especially like black couples, white couples, Hispanic couples, anybody who's a couple that's of the same ethnicity or same race or same nationality, whatever. Maybe not same nationality, but same ethnicity or same race, because race is a construct, right? So, the when two ethnicities or two races date, like like I said, we got shit thrown at us, we got name calling, we got bad stares. We would be put to the farthest back of the restaurant, where there was nobody every single time. You know, it would take a long time for people to come to take our order. It would take a long time for people to bring us our order. You know, the the hateful energy was palpable. Like it was just like everywhere. We knew it. So thank you, Joe. Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, her family was always great to me. Always. Always. Even when my family was so shitty to me, her family was great. And she lost all of her parents. Her grandmother passed a couple days ago. Her dad passed um, a couple months ago. Her her birth mother, passed a year ago, a year and a half ago, and her stepmother passed the year before that. So basically, since we've been in this area, each year she's had someone die. Um, and that sucks because her family was awesome. Like they were really good to me. And her brothers are still here, and they are really good to me too. I mean, we're family, so like there is no bullshit with that. We're family. We're locked. Um, now my blood family, we're still trying to work out the kinks there because they are kind of shitty. Um, my sisters. So, Chris, this is good that you say that because I can bring this up. So, I've got a sister who is militantly black, like militantly black, like super pro black, so that she is militant, and it often causes problems with me and Egg because she is so like anti-interracial, but she loves Egg, so it's like, what the fuck? Like, how can you be talking all this shit, but you got a white family member here, and now my other sister is dating a white man. So now, what the fuck is this militant bit? Me and me and my sister, one of my sisters, do not get along at all. Um, yeah, and that's yeah. So I'll leave it at that. But hey, Neuro D, what's up? What's up? I was sitting here complaining about my sister. I'm not going to do that anymore. Um, but yeah, what I was trying to do is talk about places that we can go to escape if we needed to, because nobody wants to leave their home. I love Atlanta. I love our stuff. I love our junk. I love living in here. I love that we're going to move in with Bestie when the time comes, and we're going to be like Golden Girls. I love that we're going to grow old together. That is the plan, um, and we're trying to stick to it. So, but if we do have to leave, I know Amsterdam. Oh, first of all, yay! World Pride. World Pride last year was in DC. So World Pride this year is in Amsterdam. Yay! Amsterdam, of course, is fun if you've never been. Um, you think Canada's your bailout point? So um, I have I was reading something about the entry to Canada, and it doesn't seem to be super easy, like immigrating to Canada. Um, unless you just like hop over the border somewhere and then but like as far as entering Canada, if you enter Canada saying you are trans, um I don't know how easy it is. I know that one person that I know specifically, yeah, it's not easy, is it? Okay. Yeah, I know it's like you have to have someone who is either born there or a relative. Um, you have to either have a sponsor or a company that you work with. It would be we're coming for a 3-week vacation, and you know what? Yes, there are people who do that. There are definitely people who do that. I know several people who've done that. A 23-hour layover in Amsterdam. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of funny. I went to. You said you went to a month in Europe. I was in Europe for about almost 3 months, honestly, almost 3 months. It was a little shy of 3 months. I went to, and Amsterdam was my base, and from there I went to Utrecht and stayed with a friend and stayed with him for a while, and we just went around the Netherlands, and then he took me to Belgium, where we went to Brussels and drank cherry beer in this marionette bar. So we got to see the little marionettes play, and that was kind of cool. Um, uh, um, went to Luxembourg, which was amazing. I had the best time in Luxembourg. Well, the second best time in Luxembourg. We went to France and did not like. I went to the Gare de Lyon, not the Gare de Lyon, Gare du Nord, Gare du Nord, yeah, which was Paris, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't get out of the train station. I just stayed in. Um, Academic conference in Ireland, and okay, and hung out with your family in Sweden. Okay. That is awesome. Now, Ireland, so my sister went to Ireland, the really militant one, she was like, "I am never going to that bitch again." And then she was like, "I am never going to Europe again." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool, I understand, but and then I was like, "What about France?" And she was like, "I'm not going to France." She does not want to go to Europe. But like, unfortunately, now I've heard that yet last year, actually, so last year Dublin was the third most LGBTQIA plus friendly place in the world, and now it's supposed to be not. Now it's supposed to be like J.K. Rowling shit. Um, mm. Too many white people where? Let's see. Uh, in Ireland? No, I don't know. Ireland seems like it would be fun. I don't know. I would love to be in Ireland. There are a lot of black people attached to Ireland. So yeah, J.K. Rowling can fuck off. The problem with J.K. Rowling is that if things had been different, she may have transitioned. Not gonna lie. You just look up all the evidence, you know. There's some evidence there. Yeah, fuck J.K. Rowling, yeah. You were in Wicklow County, okay, in Dublin. I love it. Spent second Pride in Dublin. Okay, cool. Yeah, my sister wrote off Europe. Yeah, she's done with Europe. Not because there wasn't enough black people, but because well, yeah, in Ireland there weren't any black people, so that is why she wrote off Ireland. And then she was like, you know what, fuck the rest of Europe. I just don't want to go. Um, she is, yeah, she wants to go to Africa, but she hasn't been to Africa. Um, she would be the one to go to Africa with my dad. Um, like I said, I would love to, but like it's just not safe for me. I need to go someplace where I think I can make it back alive. Um, or if I think I have to stay there, that I can stay and make it alive. Africa does not seem like that place. I've looked through several of the countries, um, and I know that there are like 10 or 12 countries in Africa where it's safe, so called, to be queer. I don't know if it's safe to be a black trans person with a white queer partner. So that's the whole thing. That's the caveat that we always were having to work with. Um, yeah, yes, Chris. Yeah, yeah. That is the thing. So she played. It's kind of strange because she seems to be supportive of the queer community, but she went to Spelman and she Yeah, she went to Spelman, and Spelman is, a highbrow HBCU, so historical Black colleges and universities. And Spelman is pretty distinguished. So she did go, and the distinguishing part is she did good. She's got a lot of degrees. She's a lawyer, but the point of all of this is that, like, I feel like I don't know where she got this militant action from because no one in my family is like this. No one in my family is like this. You know, like there's been a lot of race mingling for years, and part of that is enslaved people. You know, and they're assholes, but some of that is not. Um, Northern Ireland, the UK part is more conservative. Yes, yes, yes. Um, which one is the Protestant side? Is that Northern Ireland? I think so. And then the rest is supposed to be Catholic and not no longer Catholic, but I don't know. My scar, yay! It's where they sliced me open. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I would think that Northern Ireland is Protestant, and I mean, and the only reason I'm saying this is because I know from from football, Celtic and Rangers. I know that's Scotland. Celtic and Rangers, Glaswegians. Hey, Sacred, what's up? I think trans people are great, but if for some reason I had a personal issue, fear, or dislike of trans people, I could still put notification just popped up. Hopefully it'll go away soon. There we go. Still part of outward healthy phase. Rowling could do that. She chose not to. So yeah, Rowling, she's a special kind of bird. Like I said, if there is a lot of information out there that suggests that she wanted to transition when she was younger, or that she thought that she should have been a boy. Whether she wanted to transition or not, she does. Like, there's a lot of information of her saying that she thought she was going to be a boy, that she wanted to be a boy. Check out the podcast from Blind Boy, who's awesome. You learn about Ireland, and he's just a delightful human. Okay, yeah, Kimmy. So check out the stuff about J.K. Rowling, Robert Galbraith. Well, the Robert Galbraith story is a lot different. The Robert Galbraith story. Robert Galbraith is one of her pen names that she uses. Robert Galbraith is also the person who created conversion therapy. Yay! Get the connection now. Robert Galbraith. Robert Galbraith. Now the difference is that Robert Galbraith, who created conversion therapy, many years came out and said, you know what, this shit does not work. So he's against conversion therapy. Yeah. Um, yeah, fucking conversion therapy. Yes, because it's torture. That's what it is. It's sanctioned torture. Um, Not really sure how we got back to sanctioned torture, except for lying, and for a Supreme Court who does not really care about their constituents, their kids, they don't care about kids, because if they did, they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't. If they cared about people, they wouldn't do this. They would be more humane than this bullshit. So they don't really care. And that's why when trans people say, we've only got ourselves, when trans people talk about taking up arms, I don't do that, but it makes me want to. I hate that. I feel like this because I am at heart a very peaceful person. Um, I've never owned a gun. I have never wanted to own a gun. Um, and now I'm thinking about it, and that sucks. I don't want to think about owning a gun. I've got bipolar disorder. I don't need a gun. But, I'm thinking like I have daggers and swords, but those are kind of close. And like, I need someone, like, if someone's coming, I need the pew pew, to protect me and Egg. Or Egg needs to learn how to pew pew so she can protect her and me. Um, we're both on the same page. We both hate them. Um, Neither of us likes them. Neither of us wants them in the house. Um, Not at all. Um, Not at all. And that's the struggle we're having right now. Is we're like, how do we protect ourselves if something happens like right outside our door, or when we are driving down the road and we get out, um, Egg was parking our car at a place where we get boba tea, and these two women like started harassing her, and they were about to throw down. It was like, what the fuck, like, people can be so like just wanting to fight immediately, and this is in the A. People like get crazy, so you have to kind of watch out who you talk to and what you say and how you say it. Like in the A, you don't flick people off on 285. You don't do that shit on 400. You don't do that shit on 75. You will get shot, and unfortunately, that's not a joke. So 85, 285, 20, 75. Shit, these people are not fucking around in the A. Pepper spray is a good alternative. Yeah. You know, Chris, it's hard. It is certainly hard because I don't want a gun. I don't need a gun. Well, okay, I don't want a gun. I'm beginning to think that we may need one. And that is where I don't know if it's just my faulty thinking or what. And I'll tell you why. Because pepper spray works. I guess the idea is to get away. But if you're backed into a corner and you pepper spray, like where can you go? Let's just say they make it to your place of living, and they come in and you pepper spray them. I guess you can run out and like escape to safety that way. So maybe pepper spray is good. That's a better way. Yeah. Let's drop the gun talk for right now and we'll hook up some pepper spray. That's a great idea. Thanks, Chris. Uh, Thank you so much. That makes a lot more sense. I don't want to get a pew pew right now. I don't want to do that. I know Egg doesn't want to do that either. We're not those type of people. So, um, um, but yeah. So we are. The other place was the Netherlands that I thought of, but that's even harder to get into. Uh, yeah, Chris is awesome. Bear spray. Yes, bear spray. Pepper spray is pretty debilitating. I know bear spray is even more so, isn't it? Don't use any weapon you don't have. Yeah, I know. Perfect, Joe. Thank you so much. That is exactly what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was thinking. And that's why, I would have to go to the range, do some boom, a lot of boom booms. Um, Oh, Chris. I remember you saying that. Yeah, I remember you saying that. You were definitely the organizer. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Um, I might have to hit you up if the time comes, Chris. Yes, you're 100% right. Yeah, 100% right. Got to be able to be comfortable, calm, understanding that you can use like Joe said, that you can use what you have in your hand or what you're going to use comfortably and knowledgeably so that they don't take it away. Thank you, Chris. So yeah, no, it's kind of real in the field. We never thought about weapons. We've never thought about weapons. Um, well, okay, let me take that back. We've always thought about weapons, but basically because we're an interracial couple, and it was necessary back in the day. But we've always had daggers and swords, never guns. So I have a collection of daggers, and people have gifted me like Bowie knives and shit like that, knives and so Bowies, whatever. The ones that can cut off a foot, so I've got daggers and knives and swords. Um, I wish I had nunchucks though. I wouldn't be good at them, so maybe I shouldn't have them. Um, but I'm good with the dagger. Um, or at least I think I am. But yeah, so let's see. Do you practice with knife? Yes, yes, I do. I do. Yeah. Okay, so I did. Um, it was something that I liked, that I've liked for a while, and so I did practice. But now I don't. Yeah, I haven't in a while. Oh shit! Why does my screen keep on going dark? Yeah, I haven't in a while. But no, it's something that I should refresh myself on. Just in case I need to. Well, I mean, not just in case I have to use anything like that, but we've got. I like I told Egg, just start going. Like, we've got daggers all over the house, we got knives and sharp implements all over the place. You're trading close combat only, it requires a lot of calm. Yeah, Joe, so, yes, I can see that. I am not the most calm person. I I tend to, but, like, with that comes, like, tears, like, I when I get angry or when I get scared, I cry. Um, it's just something that I can't help. Or I just get, like, over the top rage, and, but being calm is something that I have a problem with, like, in the heat of the moment. That is something that I have been working on for the last year. Um, because I know that, like, especially in manic episodes, I can be a complete dick. Um, I can say some awful stuff. My tongue is like a howitzer, and when I want to cut you to shreds, I can. But the consequences of that is that, like, especially for Egg, I make her feel really bad, and then I have to apologize, and I feel really bad. But it's a cycle. Um, but that's the life of living with someone with mental disease, mental disorders, and uh, Egg is autistic, so we each battle our own battles, and it's fun. Hey, Nikki, if you make me mad enough to cry, yes, yes, yeah, 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 yeah. If I'm that mad, I will, I will fight. Like, I am not, like I said, I am not a fighter. But, like, if somebody gets me that mad, I will have to fight. Now, whether I win or not is a different story. But, like, I will go down fighting. Like, I have at this point in my life and this current political climate, I have vowed, especially to myself and to Egg, that, like, and I use this a lot. This story, I guess I can't remember how you would say it, but this little parable, is that right? No, parable. No, anyway, I'll tell it. In V for Vendetta, when Natalie Portman's character is in jail, and then she hears other people being taken to the behind the shed and being shot and killed, she's finally like, I can't live like this anymore. Take me behind the shed and kill me, you know? And so she's ready to die. And when she gets back there, um, and she notices that there's nobody back there and that all the doors are open, And so what that represents to me is true freedom. She has gotten over the fact that she was jailed and that she was ready to die for what she believed in. Um, but when she got to where she needed to die, there was another path, and that path was true freedom. So, when I think about that, I relay that to, I put that my life into those shoes. What am I willing to do? What is my true freedom? And my true freedom is being out and proud, you know? This is freedom to me. If I could have stayed in the closet, I could have, well, I would have been dead if I stayed in the closet. But I could have killed myself that, like, for the last time. I could have done it, but I chose to transition. And in turn, transitioning saved my life. It wasn't like I chose life in order to transition. No, it was I chose transition, and then that saved my life. And, I think for people who are at that point, I think that that happens a lot. It's where you choose transition, and hope your life will get better. You don't choose life. Or at least, let me, once again, I have to back up. I didn't do this. Yeah. Me. You chase down a nasty Trumper who could only come up with, you have TDS on the streets in DC. I have a bullhorn and I just followed him and obliterated him verbally. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, your ex, your friends who can attest to this. It's hilarious. Oh, let me scroll back up because I missed something from. Let's see, Joe. Let's see. So, Joe, what kind of combat are you trained in? Is like, is it Krav Maga or something Jiu-Jitsu? Um, Something like that. Can I talk more about what? Let's see. What was overwhelming you prior? Oh, so there were a lot of things, like the collision of my mind and my body was the big thing. There was a long, long time where I was under the impression, that I should have been a woman. And furthermore, I should have been a lesbian. And furthermore, I should be a lesbian with a lesbian partner. This is how I felt. I can't explain it to cis hetero people. Um, I can't even explain it to cis people, because if you're not trans, then you just can't understand. Like it's hard to grasp. It's like parallel universes and wormholes and quantum physics, but no, it's hard to understand. Your brain says one thing, and mixed military. Okay, holy shit. Um, yeah, so it was the collision of the brain and the body. Once I became aware of the body, my brain began to kick in. Like, wait, why is my body like this? Where I'm thinking it should be like this, So that was the overreaching thought. Like in the beginning, when I was younger, I wasn't really sure. I was like, okay, something is different about me versus all these other boys, you know but there was nothing. I just kept on just going on living life. Now when I got older into my late teen early 20s, like late 20s, like my whole 20s, that's when I began searching. And I was searching in vain, searching, 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 trying to find anything that represented like a male lesbian, a male lesbian. And I was like, okay, so this is not working. I actually, by the way, I actually found two like websites that had mention of a male lesbian. Um, didn't really turn out to be anything. Um, but so, that was what I always thought. I found a forum back in 2006 or 2008. The forum was called True Selves, and that forum was like 600 people strong. And forums have all these like forums, and underneath the forums have sub forums and all that. So when I found that website and those forums, I joined immediately and I crawled through all of the backspace, like all of the information. I sucked up as much knowledge as I could, about these people and how they lived their lives and how they transitioned and what their problems were and how people treated them and how they treated themselves and how they felt about themselves when they started transition. And so I was getting all this information rapidly, and it was congealing and into this idea that I really needed to transition, and my mind was like, yeah, this is right for you. Because I was looking at my body, I was like, yeah, this is not right. So when I came out, pretty quickly, I started transition. Um, I had so I didn't come out. First of all, I was outed. Um, I had an orchiectomy in 2018, so I came out in 2015 when I was outed. Okay, I was outed in 2012. I came out for the final time in 2015. Um, Went back into college twice, in the closet twice. Um, Came out of the closet final in 2015. Started transitioning. Um, had such bad bottom dysphoria that I got an orchiectomy in 2018, which is the surgical removal of the testicles, which I wanted to keep, but they wouldn't give me. Yeah. And then I had bottom surgery, in April. As a matter of fact, my bottom surgery date, my vagiversary, is coming up in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 5 days, yo. 5 days. My vagiversary, and I will be live on that day, just to celebrate my vagiversary. But yeah, so yeah, but no, I needed to. I It's hard for people to understand. I needed that surgery. I needed it. I needed my bottom to match my brain. I absolutely needed it. I needed FFS, I needed it. Just I didn't need it for anybody else. I didn't need it to pass, because I know I'm never going to pass. That's not what I needed it for. I needed it for me, to see me how I see it in here, in this universe, in this time line. I'm not gonna get into that. But yes, in this universe, in this timeline, and at this moment, where I am this age, I needed to do it now. So I did it. And now that I've done everything that I've done, I'm happy. When I woke up from FFS and Egg, the first thing she did was take a picture of me. The second thing, um, the next thing that happened was I said, "I'm done." I told her I'm done, and that was it. I knew I was done, and I knew I was happy. The gender dysphoria was gone. It was like from the minute I woke up, I knew it. And it's it's something to whew, it's something to not have that feeling anymore after having it for so long in your life. So, yeah, yeah. So, it to not have that feeling is amazing. It's like, because there are trans people who do not get to feel the way I feel, to be happy, in their body and in their mind, and I am. So, I thought about having vocal cord surgery, and I'm like, why? Why? This is my voice. I'm a trans person, thereby my voice is trans, and I don't really need to change it or train it. Um, I didn't see it like that until recently. So, that was the final nail in the coffin. And, now I feel great and I'm happy. And, now, of course, so like I tell everybody, transitioning and like finally getting to your transition goals does not mean your life is going to be gravy. It just means that your life is going to be worth living, you know? Um, yeah. So, my life is worth living now. Now, that being said, I do have mental illness. I struggle with mental illness, so just about every day I'm like, okay, is this a day where I live or if I die? That is just the fact of my life. It is something that Egg knows. We have plans. We have all kind of plans. But bipolar disorder is kind of wacky that way. Um, yeah, it's wacky whack. But yeah, like today is a good day. So always a good day. Egg is the way the frog will play. Egg went to a glass store today. She is making stained glass. Um, Joe, you just realized with your military upbringing, one of the things I admire about you is that you're a brave warrior. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, um, people don't see it like that, and that's a shame because it is a war people fight within themselves and then within the community, you know. So there's two sectors. You've got to fight the outside, and you've also got to fight the inside. You've got to fight the internalized transphobia, and a lot of us have that, and a lot of us like have to. Here's something I need to say to begin. Male privilege. So let me try and break it down. Male privilege. For anybody that was assigned male at birth, there will be some male privilege. Some. For trans people, that male privilege, while it's going to be there, especially for trans women or trans femme people, um, that male privilege will be there, but it's not like it is male privilege. It's not like a cis male privilege, where they feel like they can take over the world, so yada yada. Being privileged in a trans context is, you know, at least I'm alive, because of this male meat suit, that is the privilege of being male right there. Um, you know, but you've got to remember that trans people, I was bullied. A lot of uh, trans women were bullied for being, other, for not being masculine enough, for not having as much rip and roar and testosterone, not for not wanting to hang with the guys and, go shoot guns and shit like that. Just like so. Um, I don't know, like God, I don't know. Joe, thank you. So you were like, I know we've talked about this before. Like, my dad was in the military too. I appreciated that. He never made us feel like it was military, which was good, because I had a disdain for the military, and I still do. Now, I apologize if that upsets you. I don't mean to upset you or be rude. It's just my personal opinion. I have a disdain for all militaries, but I do appreciate what you and others do. You know, I can't ever say that I don't because if I were in a person's shoes, I would not do it. I would be a conscientious objector. They would throw my ass in jail, or I would flee the country. It would be just that simple. Um, I don't believe me personally. This is me personally. So me personally, I do not believe in fighting for these United States of America, and so I never will. Um, did y'all hear that? Oh my God! Did y'all hear that? That that I think it was Trump who said that trans women can now be drafted because they are actually men, but they couldn't be in the military before. Like, what the fuck? Like, get your mind right, old man. Oh my God. Like, I don't know what is more fun. This is too funny for me. Like, it's not funny because, I know there's a lot of trans women who are like, what the fuck? Like, how are you going to draft me? And there are a lot of trans women and trans femme people who are of age to be drafted, if there is going to be a draft. Um, yeah, that just sucks. That sucks. I don't know, Joe. If you can do some staying calm while in close combat, I think you can probably do more than you think. You're probably a pretty much a badass, Um, and yeah, your life story, Joe, like, I haven't heard all of your life story, but from what I've heard, you've lived a wonderful life of, seeing and doing. Yeah, but, yeah, so, in thinking of other places we can move, I was thinking about, oh, and I actually looked this up, so let me move on over to my screen. Um, not, not Costa Rica, but, oh, no, that's Yoruba. Well, okay, so I don't know where it is, but I was looking up places to move to in South America, and they were like Argentina, Montevideo, Chile, somewhere in Chile, Chile. So they're like Argentina capital. Basically, what they're saying is there are many places where they have queer laws encoded into the Constitution or into their binding laws. Um, just like anywhere else, that doesn't mean that they have to accept you. So I don't like at this point. I don't know what to do. Like, I guess we stay and fight. Sure, you know. I think that's what we're gonna end up doing, like, stay fighting, and if I just the whole idea of, like, concentration camps and because that's what they are at the moment, like, let's not bullshit with, like, ICE detention centers, they're fucking concentration camps, so, they've, I don't know if y'all saw the most recent thing from Trump or someone in the administration where they really did label us domestic terrorists again. And they are, I don't know if y'all saw that, Chris. Stand, fight. Yes, yes. Thank you, Chris. The more I think about it and the more me and Egg talk about it, that is what we're probably going to do uh, unless it is a dire situation. And that could happen. Like, it could happen like Texas, where Georgia shuts everything down, you know? Um, planning go yeah, planning go bag landing place. Yes, yes. So yeah, it's kind of funny that we carried a go bag for years, like both me and Egg, because I have Crohn's disease and my Crohn's disease was bad, really bad. So I had to carry everything and she carried backups to my everything. And we're talking about like toilet paper, changes of clothes, not just changes of clothes, baby powder, like baby wipes, everything, bags, just anything you could think of that a person with severe Crohn's might need. So, um, that was the thing. Like whenever we left, we'd pick it up or we'd leave it in the car and just go. And now we need to do Joe. Yeah, loving Joe, definitely. We need to do that, Joe. That's a great idea. Chris and Joe, y'all are both throwing out some great ideas. Thank you, Kemi, for coming too. Everybody, oh, there's more people in the chat. Who else in this chat? Yeah, I know. Chris is amazing. Joe's amazing too. Kimmy, you're amazing too. What the fuck? Come on now. All of us are amazing in this chat. You know? Yeah, all of us are amazing. The fact that it is, oh my God, is it 424? Oh my God. So, okay, let me tell y'all. Um, angel numbers, like, repeating numbers. I don't call them angel, I just call them repeating numbers. So repeating numbers, um, supposedly, when you start seeing repeating numbers, that means spirits are looking out for you, guides are looking out for you, guides are trying to tell you something. I just looked at the clock, it was 424. I always see numbers like this where it'll either be 515, 424, 434, and I catch all of these. Um, I don't usually see like 1111, although I caught it yesterday. I don't see 222s or 444s or anything like that. It's always like 424 or 515 or 535 or 121. So, anyway, what you're supposed to do is kind of stop, take a couple breaths, think about what you were talking about in that moment you saw that. So in the moment I saw 424, I can't remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about how everybody was awesome in this chat, and it hit. So yeah. Um, uh, but for the 19 people who are in here, I appreciate it. I wish some of y'all would come out wherever you are, and participate. It's fun to play. It's fun to chat. It sparks conversations where we notice the time that we text to each other. Uh, um, the game of time, and we notice time like that. Text each other. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I so my texting, I'm a rapid texter, and I expect people to text me back pretty rapidly. So if I, for instance, if Bestie texts me, the way Bestie operates is she'll text me and then I won't hear from her again for a couple hours. Um, so I am the kind of person that if you text me and I have my phone in my hand, I'm texting you right back, and I will text you multiple lines and in complete sentences. You're welcome. Yeah, like I am not stingy with the texting, or even on Messenger, or on like any type of messaging like app. I do use Messenger a lot because I talk to Bestie every day without fail, every day. We either talk in person, on Messenger, or on text, or on iPhone, whatever the iPhone thing is, Face app, no, FaceTime. Yeah, we talk every day. I don't think I've not talked to her. I don't remember the last time I haven't talked to her every day. Like it's that much of a bond that we have. Like like I said, like her kids only know us, and yeah, it's great. I love my bestie. I love my bestie. Oh, that sucks. I'm pretty inspired when I text. I'm like, and I'll send it off, and then another thought will come to my mind. It's because of my spicy brain, um, that things come really quickly and in spaces. So I could do things in triplicate, like da 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 da, uh, da 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 da. That's six. That's not triplets. Da 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 da. No, it's even five. Da 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 da. That's five. One 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 one. If y'all know Gilmore Girls, does anybody in here watch Gilmore Girls? What's y'all's favorite TV shows? Hi, Carmen. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Kimmy, thank you so much. We will talk again. Hopefully, I'll see you on another live. I think the ladies are doing the on the porch tonight, and Robes. Let's not forget Robes. I'll hop onto that tonight. Yay! But thanks, Kimmy. Hi, Carmen. The detectorist. Yeah, interesting. Oh, Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Have a great evening. Weekend time, so celebrate. So, hi, Carmen. How you doing? Time to deliver the pizza. Yelling cars with the ball. Do it up, Chris. Do it up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you, Chris. I will. You be as safe as you can too. A Town is kind of crazy, so be safe. Um, um, so yeah, but for good, Carmen. Carmen, let's see. First of all, for all of you on the chat, why are you a little worried? Is it because of all the horrible? Well, I mean, like, not what? Like, is it because of all the shit that's going on in our country right now and the world? Oh, I just got something from Smyrna Pride. Yay, Pride is happening. Yeah, a little worried all the time. I can understand that. Yeah, the world is kind of shitty. People are stressed. People are worried. It's like it's breaking down people's psyche, and you know, uh, there are people who are just on the front lines who are just mentally breaking themselves and physically breaking themselves. And I appreciate that they're on the front lines, but um, oh, going to Chris in Ukraine. Okay, peace out, Joe. We'll talk to you later on. Okay, all the time. Yeah. So, thank you for coming in, Joe. We'll talk. We'll talk again. I know I'll see you on another show. So have a good one. We'll pop into each other. But yeah, it's just the times necessitate anxious behavior, and it's stressful. Everybody has a reason to be stressed except for the people who are causing the stressors. And even they have a reason to be stressed because they know, they have to know. They have to know that they're on the wrong side of history. And they have to know that something is going to happen to them. Like they have to know this. Like I know some people will get away with it, the rich people who pull the strings, they'll get away with it because they've got a lot of money and they're behind the scenes. But people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, we should just fucking cut off their heads. Guillotine time, guillotine. If it was good for the French, why not use it for us? Learner curious, how you doing? No, I'm not advocating violence against the orange shithead. Okay, so you know, I am not advocating violence. What I'm going to say is I hope he has the day he deserves. And we can put him in a jar. That would be fun. So yeah. Um, but that's what I got going on. Egg is supposed to be home soon. She went to, so Egg is learning how to make stained glass. And she's already made one, and it's very cute. She's going to make me a purple and black rose, onyx rose. And, she's going to make an egg. She's already made an egg bowl, but she's going to make an egg with a frog, an egg on top of a frog, stained glass, which is going to be kind of cool. Um, so yeah, Egg is happy because she's found a new passion in art. She does everything in art wise, but now she's on the stained glass, so it's a new medium for her. She'll be doing it for probably a year and then she'll stop. Y'all check back with me next year and I'll tell you. It's 434. Who in here heard me talking about me hitting the numbers? So I was talking about Egg in next year and her not doing this. Hopefully she will be. That's strange. Yeah, but it's 434, y'all. And then this is what I also do. 434 is 8 and 3 is 11. Now, in numerology, you're not supposed to break down 11, so I'm not going to break it down. But normally I would break it down till it can't be broken, not till it can't be broken down anymore, but until it's a single digit. So like 8 and 8 18, 8 18 is 8 and 8 is 16 and 1 is 7 and 7 and 1 is 8. So no. I play with numbers. I'm a number player. Too bad I'm not good at math. I wish I was, because the universe is math. The universe is made of math. Oh, thank you, Carmen. No, so you know, Chris Resist was in here, and me and Chris did a live several days ago, um, and I think at the end of the day, Egg and myself are going to fight as long as we can. Like I said, we've got our chosen family here, and we do not want to separate from them. Um, we've got like blood family here. I don't mind separating from my blood family, but Egg doesn't want to separate from her blood family, and I understand that. Her blood family is awesome. My blood family is awesome too. I'm not gonna lie. Me and my blood family here. Hey, VJ. Um, yeah. It's Yeah, so Eggy, yeah. I forgot what I was talking about. Let me see. Yes, no, I'm not fleeing. Not yet, at least. Until we are going to wait until the very last moment, and then if it's necessary, we will leave. Um, but I don't think we're going to just up and go. I've actually still got friends in Texas who are trans. Um, if they can stay in Texas and be trans, I've actually got a friend who went through Florida, went into international waters. She is trans. She has an M on her driver's license and her passport, and she still got through no problem, you know? So that is pretty good. Like I don't I would have thought because she went through Florida, and she did go on a cruise, so she had to go through international waters, and I'm just like international waters are fine, but like coming back, I would be very worried that they would confiscate. Like, oh, did y'all hear the other thing? Caitlyn Jenner, that bitch. First of all, she said that she can't consider herself a woman. I think she said this. She doesn't consider herself a woman because she was born with XY. She said some kind of bullshit, some absolute bullshit, or something like she can't accept the Woman of the Year award because she's not actually a woman. She said some kind of bullshit. Y'all just got to go look this shit up. Like, she is the most like self-hating bitch I have ever known. She just does not like being. I don't know what about it is. Like, she's trans, but she talks like it's just like blacks for Trump, or Latinos for Trump. It's like Cubans for Trump. Like, y'all are going against. We're all going against our own interests here. Nobody wants to vote for Trump, and especially why are black people voting for Trump? You know, black people. Trump has done nothing for you, us. He's shown he's racist time and time again. Did you know, as far as immigration, that the most immigration into the United States in Trump's first and a half a year, has been from South Africa, white South Africans, white South Africans, because white South Africans are being persecuted in South Africa, and they need to escape. Um, they're in refugee camps. Yes. So, you know, life is life. Caitlyn Jenner, first of all, I don't like Caitlyn Jenner. What I don't like even more than not liking Caitlyn Jenner is people misgendering Caitlyn Jenner. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't care, give a fuck who says anything, what they think about Caitlyn Jenner. They could think she is the trashiest piece of shit in the world. That doesn't mean you get to misgender her. That's disrespect, and you just don't do that. So, I mean, that's stripping away someone's identity and should never be done, regardless of how you feel about them. So, I despise her with all my being, but I'm not going to demean her by stripping away her identity either. Um, I just wish she would see it like that. Because turnabout is not fair play in this type of arena. You just don't want to be transphobic. Um, and a trans person being transphobic, that's the worst of the worst. You know, Ugh, horrible, horrible. Does anybody in here speak Yoruba? Yoruba? Because if you do, oh, VJ, do you speak English only or do you speak another language? Things are so different compared to, oh, so VJ, tell me what's going on. Hey, Lisa. VJ, tell me please what's going on. Like, take your time. I just want to know because if like what I'm hearing over here is completely wrong, then I need to know about that because what I'm hearing over here is that oh, you speak four language, okay, but mostly African. What language is African? Because I know that Africa is a big country. I mean, a big continent. And African is that a language? I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. I didn't realize that African was a language. I know that like I know there's like Igbo and like Yoruba, um, but that's in Nigeria and Ghanaian and um, but I guess in South Africa that's African. Okay, yeah. My excuse my ignorance. I'm sorry, but four languages. That's awesome. So you're a polyglot. I love that shit. I wanted to be a polyglot. I still want to. Um, I am working my way through languages right as we speak. I am not good at any of them. Zulu, Sotho, Xhosa, is that the clicking one? Sosha? Afrikaners. Okay, yes, Afrikaans. Yeah, that is the Dutch. That is the Dutch. The Dutch side, isn't it? Yeah, Afrikaners. And Zulu, Sotho, Xhosa, Sosha. I don't know how to say it, but this is what what's his name from the Daily Show speaks. The really cool guy, not 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 him, but the really cool guy. What's his name? I like him so much. He's funny. He's smart. He speaks this social language. Um, where if that's the one with the clicks, he speaks it. And I've always found that fascinating. I would like to learn that. Um, uh, that's a lot of languages, VJ. Trevor Noah, thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're answering all my questions because my brain is just like, yes, Trevor Noah. And I love the language. It's beautiful. Um, I love Yoruba too. Yoruba. I'm learning that right now, and it's hard because it's a lot of intonation, and there are a lot of accent marks that I did not know, like the dot under the letter. I don't know what it's called, but like I call it a dot. Um, I'm learning that like under an S, that is pronounced like sh, as opposed to. I'm learning, yay! um, but yeah, still, let me pop on really quick. Let me pop. Oh my God, it's 4:44, y'all. Damn. Okay. Yay! It's now 4:45. Okay, good. Um, yeah. So, oh yeah, April. April is National Poetry Month, y'all. I hope y'all are writing poetry, celebrating. I am trying to write a poem every Tuesday and Thursday, and one every Saturday. Sturge writes it down. Has challenged me to write one every Saturday for this month, um, and post it. So while I can't write my poems on Substack because I don't write on Substack anymore. Um, I can post the link to my poem in the notes section. So I've done that. The poem today is called Devotion. Um, and so it's on my website, OnyxRose.net. That's where all my not all my poetry, come on, like I'm really gonna put all my shit up there. But that's all the stuff that I want to put out right now is put out. Um, and there's a fiction series which I tried my hand at because I am not good at fiction. um, and it turned out okay. Like the first four parts were kind of shitty. Well, the first three parts were kind of shitty. The fourth and fifth were pretty good. The fifth was amazing. I really caught my stride in the fifth part of the series. um, but yeah, so National Poetry Month. I have a poem called it's a poem. It's called Un poème de trois façons. Um, so a poem in three ways. And it's kind of hard to read. I tried to do iambic pentameter, and I don't think I did a good job. I tried to, and then I tried a haiku, and I just learned today that the haiku was not the haiku like it was supposed to be. Like I just learned today that a haiku actually should have something about nature in it, and I've just been like just doing haiku without nature and shit. So I guess mine is a modern haiku. Your poem, favorite poem I've written. Okay, let's see. I'll read one. I can't read my favorite poem because it is still in copyright, and so I can't read it. Like the crazy thing is it's like 70 years after they die or something like that. I think if Neuro D's in here, they can always correct me. They know the answer to this. Um, let's see. I'm gonna read something that's really, really quick because I don't because I don't want to read anything that's long. I don't know, like long is long, 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 long. Let's see. This one is longer. Visibility matters to a younger version of me. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know how good this one is because I wrote it in about 15 minutes and did not look at it. So this is the first time I'm looking at it. Awesome. Let me move my microphone. This is called To a Younger Version of Me. Smile, child, wipe your tears away. The confusion, the unknown, you will understand one day. You, the one adjacent to so many people, the one who struggled for years, toxicity kept becoming lethal. What you wanted when you were younger, the cruel world could not oblige. A boy wearing dresses and carrying a purse, oh me, oh my, never quite grasping who you really are. Looking back, my heart is punctured. So what I was doing let me just, I need to stop there and say what I was doing. So um, with each stanza, I was rhyming differently. In the first stanza, I was rhyming the two lines together. And this second stanza, I'm rhyming the first and the fourth line together. Okay, so let me keep on going. Sorry about that. This is why I don't read my stuff because I feel like I need to explain. But in your late teens and 20s, you wrecked your body and mind. You put in the work, did a lot of damage, and had a great time. Behind that, though, the mirror cracks when held up to you, and you have to sit with the facts. Scroll, scroll. It took a long time, a long, long time. Now look at where we are and how far we've come. Just look at your beautiful self in the mirror again, no longer glum. Your smile tells it all. The feeling equally sublime. You conquered your demons. May they live in the past. May good spirits always be beacons of all that will come and all that will last. So that's it. That's my little ditty of of looking. It's to a version of my younger self, and that's just one of the many I've written about. Being looking back at myself and telling myself things that that I didn't, because honestly, that is that's a big thing, because I actually thought I'd be dead. I did not think. I've made so many milestones in my life that this one is probably the biggest, that I'm actually alive still right now and able to talk on Substack and just able to talk, and able to talk to people, able to write poetry that inspires me, if it might not inspire other people. It makes sense to me, and I love to write. So I do write for myself. I don't make a lot of money off my writing. I may never make a lot of money off my writing. I would hope to one day, enough just to keep me in a comfortable, you know. But I don't. The thing about writing like that is I feel like you're almost forced to write, and write what people want to hear and not what you want to hear. Um, um, oh, Carmen, thank you. Oh, God. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, VJ. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Y'all are making me cry. Oh, I don't like crying on camera, y'all. This is what happens on Trauma Talk. Trauma Talk is a mess. Um, but let's see. I'll read one more because I like this one. It's really short too. Yeah, this one's really short, but I came up with this in 5 minutes before I went live. So um, this one is called. Let's see what it's called. The line of this is this poetry? Who knows? But it's a bop. So it goes. This little ditty. I came up with it rather quickly. It is not rough, nor is it gritty. It is not anemic, though. It is not sickly. But it is fun indeed. Oh no, but it is indeed fun to be a goose, to be a little silly, to not always be the serious one, to smile and have a great time in itself is a great ability. So that was my little ditty. It was like two stanzas, like a little rhyming scheme, nothing hardcore, nothing too deep, just like it was fun. And like I said, 6 minutes. It was a lot of fun. um, yeah, so I like to read ones that don't make me necessarily bawl. um, but yeah, like all my poetry is on. It's called Bloody Awful Poetry, because that is one of I Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorite shows of all time. Probably my favorite show of all time. Not probably. It is my favorite show of all time. And Spike, of course, is the bloody awful poet in there, William the Bloody. Um, so I have quite a bit of poetry up. Um, I tried to write an acrostic. I did not do well at all. And if you look at my poetry on this site, on my OnyxRose.net site, you'll see that some of it is the format is all fucked up because when it transferred from Beehive, I mean, when it transferred from Substack to Beehive, like somehow my formatting got messed up. So I just didn't have the time to go back and fix it. So if I look at this, loves magic. I can't even read this. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Uh, that was before I knew what I was doing on Beehive. Like all the old stuff that transferred does not look good. All the new stuff that I wrote, that shit looks good. Yeah. Okay. See you again. Okay, learner curious. Bye. Yes, Carmen, having fun. Yeah, especially in times that are so serious. If we can find just a little bit to smile about. Like it's hard to smile when we hear things like, oh God, like what happened yesterday, the whole 60 million fucking guy thing. uh, just fucking disgusted me and triggered me, of course, and triggered many people around the world, a lot of women, um, some men, you know. Yeah, it's just it was just it's disgusting. So um, just don't I don't know what to say about that. Yeah. So it's at this point 2 minutes 26 no 22 hours 26 seconds no 2 hours 26 minutes and 11 seconds now 13 that I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. I appreciate it. Aggie Salad has made her way back into the house. She has gone from her extended adventure. So I am going to go say hi to my Aggie, my partner, and harass her for a bit. I appreciate everybody who came on. VJ, I appreciate talking to you. Carmen, I appreciate talking to you. Kimmy, I know you're gone, but I appreciate talking to you. Learner, yes. Joe, if you're still in here, thank you. Hodgepodge or Neuro D, I'm sorry. Thank you. Everybody that I'm naming, all the people who I missed coming in, I apologize because there are 22 people in here. And I'm trying to figure out who's not really talking very much. If y'all aren't talking next time I come on, just talk. Like I'm not gonna bite. I feel like I feel like this kind of works the best where we just talk in the comments and then I'll start rambling and y'all talk in the comments and we'll get there. Just to let y'all know what's going down. So Sunday tomorrow I probably will not be broadcasting. Monday, I will be on Trauma Talk at 1 with Wendy the Druid, Brandon Elrich is so gay, Sarah the Shenanigator, and the poet Miranda, and possibly Kara, Kara of the Stars. That's Trauma Talk on Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next one is Monday, 5 o'clock p.m. No, I'm sorry. Monday, 4:20 p.m. because Monday is 4:20, and so we have to celebrate by going live at 4:20 Eastern Standard Time. Me, Brandon Elrich is so gay, and the Sturge writes it down. Go live at 4:20. We're gonna blow some. Well, no, we're not. Yes, we are. You know we are. We may not do it on the air, but we're gonna fucking get down. But so everybody bring their favorite spliff, their favorite drink. Y'all can chill, smoke one. I don't really drink, so y'all can drink whatever you want to drink, but I'm gonna be smoking. 420, 420, puff puff pass, and we'll be talking music though. We're gonna talk fuck Mary Swipe left. We always do that. We have a blast with that. Um, we're also going to be talking music. We have a playlist. Um, I I've attached it. Sturge passed it out. I've attached it. I'll go back to his page and restack it restack it again. It's a playlist of 15 songs, and those are the songs that we are going to be discussing on at 420 on 420. And then my next show will be Earth Day, April 22nd. and I will be talking with Amber, the trans witch, Amber Rose. I think the last name is Rose as well. Um, the trans witch, um, who which that should be fun. We'll probably talk a little bit about witchcraft, um, and Ifa, which is what I practice right now, which is a spirituality of. Oh, let's see. Hold on now. VJ, you may know this. Do you know Ifa? Maybe not. I don't know. Like I can't say everybody in Africa knows this because like Africa's big as shit, but um and you're down in the bottom. So Ifa is Nigeria, well, Yoruba, a, a, a spirituality practiced in Yoruba land, which is southern Nigeria, Togo, and a little bit of Togo and a little bit of Benin. Um, and it is uh, a, a spirituality that is very detailed, and a divination system that is very detailed, and comes with a lot of this and that. So yeah, um, uh, um, yeah. So trauma talk. Me and Sturge and Brandon, our just so gay. Then me and Amber, and then on April the 30th, which is the last day of April, and pretty much the last day that this man will be in town. Um, Will Fullwood, if y'all know him, Will Fullwood. Will Fullwood has a great name, Will Fullwood. I'm Will and I'm full of wood. Um, so me and will sit down for a chat on April 30th. He is black, he's gay, and he is married to a white man. Um, since I'm black and I'm trans and I'm married to a white queer woman, we're gonna chop that shit off. Talk about race relations, all that good stuff. Queer relationships, dealing with racial relationships. It all intersects. So how everything intersects, not intersects people, but intersects. No, intersects. Yeah. Um, but how everything crosses paths. So yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, keep an eye, and of course, oh yeah, on the 23rd, I'm going live by myself. Maybe I'll get Egg to come, so I can talk about my vagiversary. Okay, y'all, I am going to leave. Thank y'all for coming in. Let me end my show like I normally do. No trash. Okay, that means no transphobia, no racism, no ableism, no sexism, no homophobia. And then we also say no Islamophobia, no xenophobia, land back, reparations, no fucking borders. Fuck Trump and fuck ICE. All right, y'all. Be good. We'll talk later.